Hello and welcome to the Spirit Safe. My name's Rob. Thank you very much indeed for joining me for what will be the last review of 2019. Well, it's been a good year, so we should round it off with a whiskey from a distillery we've not had before. We should have, but we haven't. It's a Balblair. This is the Balblair 2005. Balblair is a highland distillery. It says here established 1790, so it must be one of the older ones. Natural colour, non-chill filtered, 2005, vintage, bottled in 2017. And this packaging is absolutely wonderful. It's got a magnetic box closure there, and it goes both ways here. Lots of information on the inside. And the bottle itself is lovely, lozenge type shape with some artwork there. So all of this is completely custom to Balblair. So it's very, very expensive to produce. And Balblair, they're famous for doing the vintages. They're famous for having this lovely bottle. They've decided to stop it. They're now doing age statements, and they've changed the packaging radically, which I think is a step back. I can sort of understand why a lot of this is not necessary. This little detail here, it's pretty, but for a relatively normal whiskey, do you want it? Bottle 46% ABV, by the way. Okay, why have I not had a Balblair before? They were difficult to get hold of. I bought this one in Alberta. They're not usually very easily available in BC. I've never seen one at the BC Liquor Board. Can't quite remember what I paid for this. Lots and lots of citrus and young green crab apples, tree fruits, tangy, tart green apples. Lots and lots of citrus, citronella, lemon rind, citrus malt, citra hops. And when I first opened this, actually, I was a little bit disappointed because I'd tried a 1990 Balblair, which I was very impressed with. This is very, very different to that much older whiskey. I found that the citrusy notes, the tart green apples, were very forward, and it was a little bit unbalanced, I think, but it's calmed down quite a lot. After a couple of weeks being open, there's much more caramel, highland type malt there, but it is spirity. It's nippy in a citrus way rather than a harsh alcohol note. So it's spirit led and it's spirity, but it's not harsh. Bitter herbs, altogether an old-fashioned nose, kind of thing you don't see a great deal of. Hint of tobacco, aniseed, dusty grains and pollen. Pink grapefruit, waxy citrus fruits. Lots of fudge and caramel start to come through. A rum and raisin note as well. It feels young, but it's very, very interesting. It's very... how would I describe it? It stands out as being an unusual malt, which I like. sweet, sour, bitter, citrusy. It's a caramel malt. A moderate alcohol note for 46%, but it's spirity, I would say. Spirited. Cinder toffee, highland caramel malt, and a light fruit are sort of battling each other. The highland malt wants this to be a very substantial whiskey. The fruity notes want this to be a much lighter whiskey than it is. Nice herbal complexity. All the caramels, the cinnamon, brown sugar, bitter herbs. It's grassy, tangy. Very, very different to the older style of Balblair. Old-fashioned. Okay, going to give this a little bit of water. About 1 teaspoon, I think. Much more floral now with a bit of water. Lime leaves, menthol, green apple. Apple skins, turmeric, spices, perfume, sweet cinnamon. But still citrusy, a pink grapefruit. Difficult to describe, a multi-complexity that's really rooted in a tart and citrusy profile, but it's intriguing, really very good. Very, very nice. The water much more fruity, comes across sweeter. Initially, barley sugar, sweet and sour notes, a sweeter green apple, mint, and a bitter sour note as well. One to spend some time with and contemplate, I think. The finish is vegetal, pleasantly bitter. There's lime leaves, a tangy malt. And tangy is a word I keep coming back to when I'm describing this one. Long, old-fashioned bitterness, Moorish bitterness. Floral, oak. Lip-smacking is a word I wrote down to describe this, because the bitterness, the long, pleasant bitter finish is just Moorish and lip-smacking. Bitter chocolate, pleasant dryness, gingerbread latte, and almonds. Wow, not one to rush. If I'd bought it and just necked it, then I would say this is rubbish. But having spent a bit of time with it, I can say definitely a character malt we've got here. Excellent stuff. If you see this for a reasonable price, buy it while you can still get hold of the vintage year stuff, because I believe Balblair is moving to age statement, either predominantly or entirely. So I think grab a piece of history while you can. I hope that the age statement stuff, which is the stuff that most people will be drinking when it becomes established on the market. I hope that stuff retains this old-fashioned flavour profile, because it really is a unique selling point for Balblair, more so than their packaging. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the review. Like, comment and subscribe, and see you again soon. Cheers. Bye bye.